Lon Safko, co-author of the Social Media Bible, published by John Wiley & Sons, the most comprehensive book ever written on the subject of social media. And today we are here with Angela Courtin, the Senior Vice President of Marketing, Entertainment, and Content for, get ready for this, MySpace. And we're going to be talking about MySpace, of course, and social networks, which, in my opinion, is pretty synonymous, and all things social media. So, Angela, wow, it is great to have you here today.
It's great to be here, Lon. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Okay, let's get started. Can we start out, and could you tell our listeners a little bit about who you are, what you do at MySpace, what your background is?
Absolutely. So like you said, I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing, Entertainment, and Content, which means at MySpace that I get the privilege of kind of managing the team that pulls together all of our partnerships, whether we're creating content, whether we're licensing content, or whether we're partnering to bring content onto our site. We also do the marketing around all of our product rollouts, as well as any sort of, content partnerships, celebrities, athletes, TV shows, music, etc. And then the team also encompasses the entertainment side, so all of our different entertainment channels. So unlike, many social networking sites, MySpace is actually what we consider a premier social portal. So we take the best of social networking and we combine that with a gateway to content and create a really robust social portal experience for our user.
And is that all on your business card?
No, on my business card it says everything begins with an idea.
Oh, I like that. That summarizes it.
That's right.
That is such an incredible mouthful, and really, I mean, the Social Media Bible is all about social media, and in my opinion, MySpace is the epitome of what social media is and social networking. Can you, for the listeners, if for some strange reason they don't have a MySpace account or has ever heard about you, can you tell us a little bit about what MySpace actually is?
Yeah, I think the beautiful thing about MySpace is it's different things to different people. We consider ourselves a premier lifestyle portal that connects friends, discovering popular culture and making a positive impact on the world. So we really look at it through a different lens. It really is about the experience. It's your personal experience on the space. We also have a global community, so we're connecting people both domestically as well as internationally. We're in over 30 territories now. And again, I go back to the idea that it is about the fabric of what social media is, the profile, blogging, instant messaging, emailing, and then you also get to stream music and watch videos. You get to upload your own photos. At MySpace, you can go into classified listings. We've just created a new business for small businesses in order to advertise, their own wares. You can check out events in your neighborhood or kind of in the state or in the country. You can also join groups. You can blog on forums and communities. You can friend celebrities as well as bands, as well as TV shows, as well as just, again, either your high school friends, your college friends, your mommy friends in your network. So it really is what you want it to be and what you make it.
And that really is the thing that I always found amazing about MySpace ever since, believe it or not, my daughter got me involved in MySpace before I knew what social media was, is that you guys really were like one of the first people ever to create kind of a drag and drop, build your own website kind of interface, right?
I mean, the wonderful thing about the profile experience is, again, I think you've just hit on it. You get to create whatever you want your profile to be, so you can throw a skin on it. Think about it as your virtual scrapbook. So,
wow.
If you want to color it up with a different skin of someone you like, or if you want to create your own, if you want to paint it, if you want to do a photo slide viewer, there's just about anything that you can do in terms of personalizing your profile.
See, and that's totally amazing. And by the way, you guys are participating in the Open ID?
Yes, we are participating in Open ID.
See, and that's really cool too. I love that. What's your typical demographic? And I present around the country, and I had the opportunity to present to 800 Honeywell small and medium-sized companies last week. And I use MySpace as a large section of my presentation. And I always love to start out with asking the audience who they think the typical demographic is, and then actually tell them what the typical demographic is, and they're shocked. Can you address that a little bit?
I would love to. So there's really no typical demographic on our site. Our user base is expanding every month, and I think it's a misconception, as you say, that this is a young person's site. We're more than 85% over the age of 18 in terms of our user base, and there's 70 million users in the U.S. alone that have a profile. And if you think, one of my most favorite demographic nuggets to share with people is that 40% of all moms that are online are on MySpace.
Really?
That's a huge number. And they're not going there to spy on their kids. They're actually going there to engage in the tools that make social networking so powerful, as well as the discovery of content.
See, isn't that's absolutely amazing. And you're right. They're not there to spy. I've got friends. I'm 53, and some of the people that I grew up with are grandparents, as am I, and they all have MySpace pages.
Again, I think it really crosses the demographic spectrum.
And that's what I love about it. It might have started out kind of as a teenage thing, but when you see the robust functionality and the ease of use of MySpace, I mean, it really is meant for everybody.
It is, and I go back to the thing, you can personalize it the way you want. So if you want to have a very robust page, you can, and if you want to keep it simple, you can do that as well. If you want to build a playlist of your favorite music, you know that you love to listen to, or if you just want to have a single track, there's the capability to kind of expand and contract is really up to the user.
And it's easy to design and use.
And it's very easy to design and use.
I love that. That is so cool. So the demographic pretty much is everybody. So I know this next question is going to be probably impossible, but maybe you can give me some examples. What do people typically use a MySpace page for? What's the purpose?
First and foremost, I think it's really about connecting and communicating. So it's regardless of whether it's with your friends or with a community or with your favorite band or your favorite celebrity. But it also takes the next step. So how do we communicate? Through emailing, instant messaging, connecting with people of similar interests, uploading photographs, commenting on photographs, sharing your photographs. I mean, we make it very easy to stay in communication and connection with either your family or your community of friends. And so, you know, I go back to the analogy of scrapbooking, but it is a way to have a one-to-many conversation if you want to keep, like, if you want to upload your baby photos and send those to your friends and family, you can do that with a touch of a button. So you can blog, you can share on a daily basis what are your musings on everything from politics to music to your favorite cupcake joint in the neighborhood, you know, or just who you connected with maybe from an old high school friend and you want to share that with your other high school friends. And then, of course, now we're creating a portable experience. So now you can take that online experience with MySpace and take it directly to your mobile phone. So you can connect whenever you want to, wherever you are, as long as you have your mobile phone.
See, I love that too. I just did write the chapter about 8,000 words on mobile phone technology, and I did highlight you guys because I thought it was absolutely amazing that you can bring this incredibly robust set of tools. And as you said, really, the tools, when put together, create an experience. And now you can put this on the fourth screen or this little mobile screen and actually share that experience no matter where you go.
Exactly, and you can update your status and how you're feeling. So if you're changing, you know, from where you are, you can actually then update that, which gives a call out to your friends, and then they can comment on why are you blue or why are you happy or great that you just got engaged or congratulations on the baby. I mean, it's that instantaneous communication that we're making so much easier and portable.
And the reason that I associate social media and MySpace is because if you look at the definition of social media, it's about socializing, which is a basic human need that we've been doing for tens of thousands of years. And media really is the high-tech stuff that's available on the internet today. And when you put them together, that list of all of that media that you listed, everything that you do is about providing socialization and communication with others.
Exactly, and we're allowing the user to create and expand a social graph that used to be contained. I think the number used to be 150 in terms of what we could manage in terms of our communication and our social graph, and that's now expanding to, you know, I think the number is like 250. So, we're really enabling people to make connections, whereas before there might be a level of work that needed to go into, and therefore you would kind of limit yourself in terms of how much you needed to do to maintain your connections and communication. And now you can expand that because it's a lot easier to communicate and stay connected through that social graph, through social media tools.
And that's absolutely true, too. When I read the statistics several years ago about 150 people, I thought, wow, 150 people really seems like a lot. But then when I sent out my most recent email, I have them in different categories. And for the first time in my career, I actually have sent this email to 1,000 people that I know on a first-name basis, and that if I picked up the phone, they would know who I was. And I thought to myself, this is such an unusual circumstance where you can expand it from 150, which I thought was large, all the way to 1,000 and still have that personal contact by using a tool like MySpace.
Right, and which is incredible for someone like yourself. It's incredible for someone who's just an average user who's just connecting with their friends. But even kind of extrapolating beyond that, for a band, whether you're signed or independent, the ability to be able to push out communication to 1,000, 14,000, 140,000, 1.4 million now became very accessible.
And inexpensive. I mean, sooner or later we have to get around to it. What does it cost to actually utilize all this stuff that we've been talking about?
Absolutely free.
Is that unbelievable or what?
Welcome to America.
That's absolutely true. And again, that's one of the great things about social media, but in particular, again, about MySpace. As you can probably tell, I'm an enthusiastic fan of you. Is that you have such an incredibly robust set of tools. They're easy to use. They're very effective for business as well as personal. And really, it's 100% free. You can't ask for anything better than that. Right,
and we've even taken a step further and enabled small businesses to create their own ad campaign. So, where you have this set of you have a large, robust set of tools that are free. If you want to take it a step further and we call it it's My Ads, our self-serve ad platform for small to medium businesses. If you want to create a campaign to hyper-target users who care about your product, we've now made that entry much easier. You can start at $25 all the way up to $10,000. So you can create your own ad, you can decide where you want to send it, and then you can actually track its, measure its success rate, and then kind of tweak all along the way. So we've taken this proprietary hyper-targeting technology that we use for our, Fortune 500 clients and enabled any user who wants to spend $25 to enter this My Ad to be able to do the same thing. So whether you're a bar, whether you're a band, or whether you're a brand, you have the ability to create your own ad campaign.
Now, isn't that amazing? I mean, look at the numbers that we're talking about, $25 to participate in the same type of tool base that a Fortune 500 company would participate in, and for the cost of $25. I mean, that's 1 week at Starbucks.
Exactly.
I mean, that's amazing. Even the smallest entrepreneur, all the way up to the Fortune 500, could take advantage of something like this.
Absolutely, and we've proven time and time again that MySpace is a great place to advertise. And as a matter of fact, yesterday a study came out that said MySpace is the #1 place for feature films in terms of users over the age of 15 to identify, where they get their information on a movie first, and it's MySpace.
Really?
Yeah, and we've actually shown that we can move the needle in terms of opening weekend.
Oh my gosh! You guys you're turning into an icon. I mean, this is amazing. I would be so proud to be part of this. This is great. And we kind of we've referred through this conversation to business. Can you give me any ideas, any kind of practical applications of what some businesses are actually using MySpace for?
I'd actually love to do two different versions. One is when we talk about, really one of our larger brands and a really great partner that we have in Disney. We recently launched High School Musical 3. It was a fantastic success story. We ran an offline competitions for high schools to show their school spirit, similar to the, High School Musical is all about Wildcat Pride. And so Disney and MySpace partnered together to create a very robust prize package that included a senior trip to either Disneyland or Disney World and a pep rally with members of the cast and a performance by Natasha Bedingfield.
Oh, my gosh.
So what was great about it, what Disney really understood is that what we did was we took the elements of social networking, the things that are germane to what a user does every day, blogging, commenting, uploading, skinning, texting, etc., and we used all of those tools to create different types of tasks that you could do to accumulate points. And you accumulated points as a high school, not a user, an individual user, but as a high school. So you really had to get your entire high school involved in this competition.
Team spirit.
Imagine the scale which you can start to kind of build when you're talking about high schools.
Oh, wow.
So over 4,000 schools entered across the country, and we're going to be awarding our prize, I think, in the next week or so.
Wow.
And, of course, High School Musical 3 opened at $40 million in the box office last weekend, so...
Wow. And you influenced that.
Well, and it goes back to the pinball effect. So it's what happens online, you can then affect the behavior offline, and then drive them back online to kind of then monitor that behavior. So, it really is porting the online, offline, online.
And that's another really good point where conventional marketing in the old days all the way back 5 years ago, where big companies would just throw huge amounts of money at national campaigns, television, magazine, newspaper, radio ads, and basically keep your fingers crossed, and everybody sat around the phone like a campfire waiting for the phone to go off. But now with campaigns like My Ad, you can actually track on a moment-by-moment basis. You can shift the direction of how that campaign is moving. You can optimize it. Is this true?
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, there's another great example that we can use around that for the smaller level, which is a company called Bacon Salt.
Oh.
So it's salt that tastes like bacon.
Okay.
And they ran a campaign just recently, and they're using MySpace My Ads. They increased their traffic to their site by 200%, and they just reported back to us that product is selling off the shelves. So again, just a couple of guys who decided to create a product and have used MySpace to leverage, the reach and the scale, and have seen tremendous amount of success in a short period of time.
Now, isn't that amazing? Now, I'll throw this out to the listeners. Of all the listeners out there that either participate or own or are responsible for a company, how would you like to increase your revenues by 200%, especially in the current economy that we're in? I mean, that's amazing. Awesome.
Go to www.myspace.com/bacon salt, and you can see exactly what they've been doing.
That's great. I love it. Bacon salt. I mean, it's not the first Fortune 500 company that would come to mind. I mean, it's kind of obscure, but a 200% increase, it just really proves what you guys are doing is effective.
Yeah, again, for small businesses, this is exactly the type of results we love hearing about.
That is so cool. There's another thing that when I introduce MySpace in my conferences, I ask the audience where Senator John McCain announced his presidency. And, of course, hands go up throughout the entire audience, and the answer is consistently always the same on the Jay Leno show. And then I have to correct everybody, but I get a kick out of it. Where did he actually announce it?
Well, we believe he actually did announce the information on Letterman, but we believe we were the first online outlet and social network he was actually to announce his presidency.
Now, isn't that cool? A presidential candidate of the United States, especially one of us over 50, by the way, actually used a MySpace tool to announce his running for the most impressive office, the most impressive job on the planet.
Yeah, and what is even more impressive is that both candidates have MySpace pages, as well as their VP candidates, and their friend counts are huge, and they're sending out blogs and bulletins on a daily basis to users who are potential voters to help kind of shape the campaign. And MySpace also, in terms of how we were involved in politics this year, we partnered with the Commission of the Presidential Debate Commission, and we were their online partner for actually doing kind of the online-offline experience again between the debates and then going online to see more about the debates, to actually look at certain issues. We partnered with MSNBC, Declare Yourself, MTV, and then we also did voter registration, and now we've got a polling locator device on Impact so that any user can go on, put in their zip code, and find where their local polling station is. So we understand the impact that 75 million people can have, and we want to do everything that we can to kind of really drive that number in terms of engagement.
And that's really cool, too, is that you're providing this kind of a service to both presidential candidates. And first of all, you're providing this service. Second thing is that it's effective. And thirdly, and equally astonishing, that they, even though their demographic doesn't sound like it lends itself to this, they are embracing it, and you are effectively really changing the very first presidential campaign ever in this country, significantly.
Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable place to be. I mean, it speaks to the power of social networking. It speaks to the power of MySpace.
Absolutely. So let's hear it for social media. Is there any kind of statistics that you can share with our audience? I mean, I just heard a number 75 million. Can you give me some numbers to kind of put this in perspective?
Absolutely. So we have over 70 million U.S. and over 120 worldwide users. We have 30 countries, including France, UK, Germany, Japan, Australia. Our users spend about 4 hours on the site each month.
Wow.
We saw over 51 million video streams in MySpace from our player alone, and this was just in August.
Wow.
Over 80,000 videos are uploaded to MySpace Video every 24 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
And, I'll go back to my mom statistic.
Yeah.
Over 40% of all moms who are online are on MySpace. and they actually index higher in terms of their time on site.
Isn't that amazing? Well, I mean, they want to socialize. They have second and third level families, grandkids, photographs, ideas to share, and a lot of the older audience has, frankly, a little bit more time on their hands than the ones that are working around the clock. That seems to make a heck of a lot of sense. Wow. I don't even know what to say at that point with those numbers. They're just absolutely amazing. If somebody actually wanted to get started using MySpace, what do they do? I mean, what's the process?
It's incredibly simple. Anyone 14 and over can go to MySpace and simply hit sign up, and it takes about 5 minutes to get your profile ready to go, and then you can share it with whoever. You can actually share it with whomever you want, or you can keep it private. We allow you to determine what kind of filter you want to put on it. It's a totally flexible platform that empowers the user to connect with others as much as they want. And I go back to, it's free.
You gotta love that. When you can end every single one of these sentences with the word free, you know you've got something. And basically, you guys generate revenue. Of all the interviews that I do, it keeps coming back to freemium. Is that there's an incredible set of tools that you can have for free, but if you kind of want to customize them, if you want your own URL, then there's small incremental associated costs. And is that how you make money, or is it the advertising model? I mean, how do you keep the doors open?
We keep the doors open by an advertising model only. So everything that a user wants to do is free. So when you sign up for a MySpace page, you actually get your own URL. So it's www.myspace.com/I'm a Courtin. So and you actually get to choose what you want your / to be. So it doesn't have to be your name. It can be something that you care about or your favorite, stuffed animal, whatever that might be. You get to name it, and it's completely free. It's completely free.
You got to love that again. And I heard something else that you had mentioned, and when I was doing my research on MySpace, you guys take security, especially child security, really serious. And you have to be over 14 years old to actually get your own profile, and you have ways of reporting if anybody thinks that there's any kind of suspicious behavior. And you guys, can you tell me about how you take that serious?
I will say that we take it very seriously. Mm-hmm. I would say in terms of social media in and of itself, it's a very important priority, and we continue to make it a safe place, which is why I think going back to just our demographics, it's not just 14-year-olds online. 85% of all of our users are over the age of 18.
And that's excellent because, a lot of parents, unfortunately, again, are older, not as technically savvy as their kids, and they have a lot of misconceptions because, you hear crazy stories about every piece of social media out there. Originally, it was just the Internet, but now it's getting a little bit more specific, and they really don't understand how much work and consideration goes into protecting kids and making sure that is a safe environment.
Absolutely.
That's important. Now, one of the other things I also heard, too, is, and I always forget to look at this perspective, is that you're talking worldwide. You said 120 million people and over 30 different countries. When I talk to most social media people, I get this tendency that we're all kind of U.S.-centric. We kind of forget to look outside of our own country. But you guys are making a tremendous impact globally.
Yeah, again, the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, we understand that what we try to do is create a local connection within each territory. So we're not just replicating the site, we're actually making very local and very relevant to our users wherever they might be.
That's amazing. How do you actually do the translations for all of the different countries?
I'll tell you, Lon, if you go to myspace.com, at the very bottom you'll see a footer of all the different countries. You can click on and kind of explore and just see how it's actually done.
Isn't that amazing? Wow. I mean, I'm an interviewer, but you got me speechless here. This is great.
Great. We appreciate that,
Lon. Can you, okay, so we obviously have everybody convinced that this is a great place. So, again, how do they get started? What's the URL? And just set up a profile? And what's involved in the profile? Is it fairly simple?
Yes, it's myspace.com. Just hit sign up, and 5 minutes later, you'll have your own profile and ready to go.
That's as easy as it possibly can be. Is there anything else that you'd like to kind of share with the listeners? Anything kind of coming down the pike, or any ideas or thoughts, or how do you like to summarize what MySpace is?
Yeah. Again, it's exactly what you want it to be. So whether you're there to discover music, or whether you want to discover video, fashion, action sports, comedy, comic books, film, movies, to name a few, you can really discover curated content as well as share your own content. I mean, I think the gorgeous thing about social media is the confluence of user-generated content and professional or partnered content coming together in that curated discovery, share, communicate, connect, with all of your friends, and it just continues to scale up and up and up.
Well, this has been a heck of a lot of fun. I really appreciate this. I'd really like to thank Angela Courtin, the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Entertainment and Content for MySpace, for being with us here today and for sharing all those incredible insights on MySpace and social media. And Angela, truly, thank you so much for being here.
Lon, thank you, and thanks for being such an advocate. We love it.
Yeah, I love you guys. I really do. This has been Lon Safko, the co-author of the Social Media Bible. Be sure to check out our other valuable social media tactics, tools, and strategies that can be found in the Social Media Bible book and its companion website, www.thesocialmediabible.com. And for more information about me, Lon Safko, please, by all means, visit my MySpace page, as well as my own webpage at www.lonsafko.com. And again, Angela, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Lon. You have a great day.